Good morning. Welcome back to Tech Check. We continue moving along, folks. Lots of interesting people, lots of interesting topics to cover. Today, well, we figured let's take a little different tack. What do we all do every day? We usually eat. And what do we usually do? We go and shop for food. But we thought, let's bring somebody on who's brought technology into the vegetable space. And I have with us today Mr. Ahmed Nini, who started a company called Bloom in Pakistan. Ahmed, welcome to Tech Check. How are you today?
Thank you, Farouk, for having me on the show. I'm doing well, and thank you for the introduction.
You're welcome. So let's dive right in Tech Check fashion. Ahmed, tell us, what is Bloom all about?
Absolutely. I'll begin with a little bit of a background story. When I first moved from the US to Pakistan, and that you've probably all heard or experienced in your own life as well, when you come back home, you end up eating a lot and you end up gaining a lot of weight, right? Similar thing happened with me. I went up about 15 pounds and I was like, I gotta try and lose weight. When I decided I was gonna lose weight, I started looking for salads to eat. I'd done this in the US a couple of times, just go out to the nearest superstore, get a pack of spring mix, throw a little bit of chicken in there. And you've got a good meal that is low on calories and gets you on a calorie deficit.
Awesome.
This was around August of 2018. I'd moved. And I was surprised that you couldn't find salad leaves here. It was just bizarre to me that, how could a large country with 200 million people not have the right type of salad or lettuces that, I'm sure there's a certain set of people that eat these things on a daily basis. So I went out and I started looking at these local sabzi walas, right? And they have your salad leaves. It's just that the lettuce is there. It's just not transported properly. It's sitting out in the heat. So by the time you get it, it's like all wilted. Anyhow, since for lack of better options, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to eat wilted lettuce. It is what it is.
So, probably not the best option, but you did it.
I ended up eating wilted lettuce, right? And I got really, really sick. Now, you'd say, oh, you moved from abroad, you were going to get sick anyways. I'm not kidding. I've got a really strong immune system. I hope I don't jinx it. I've got a super strong immune system. I rarely ever get food poisoning, even when I eat at the nastiest of places. So when I got sick, I was like, there's something definitely wrong with these lettuces. So just out of curiosity, I went to see how they were being grown. And I kid you not, some of these things, especially the greens, are being grown in toxic water.
Wow.
That's where, I was like, something needs to be done about this. Anyhow, in the short run, I started buying imported salad. Sometimes whoever was coming in from abroad, I'd just be like, hey, can you bring me 2 boxes of salad? I was like, there has to be a better solution. So I went up to restaurants and I was like, what do you guys do? You guys have, these salads on the menu. And they're like, oh, we end up importing it from Dubai every week. And I was like, okay, that doesn't sound efficient. Went around, talked to people. Pretty much everyone had a similar answer. Oh, I've got a relative that comes in every week. They bring in salad for me. I was like, okay, there's definitely a market here. And especially this was the time when Imran Khan had just come into power. The country was trying to reduce its imports. And I was like, this is an unnecessary import. We're pretty good on agriculture. There's something lacking here. And I found that, it's not necessarily a production that was lacking. It was the connection between the farmer and your end consumer. The farmer is only equipped to deal with the mass commodity products, right? He doesn't understand the needs of a niche market. He's not educated, he's not exposed, right? And that's where this idea came about. But as I was, looking into this, I realized that, there's a lot of weather variation, throughout the year, and especially the products that I wanted to do required a little bit of a cooler temperature. So I was like, how can we bring technology into this where Pakistan is facing a water shortage? So we reduce the amount of water consumed, the ability to grow in summer, and then to address this market need that's been, let's say underserved for a very long period of time.
Right.
And then, sort of an ancillary goal to this was to actually make agriculture cool in Pakistan. It's always considered, something that, nobody wants to touch. I'm not sure where this has come from, but over the years, it's become sort of that thing that you end up in agriculture when you fail at everything else in life.
Although we need food to eat, irrespective, right? So
it's just that it's I guess the farmers are sort of always been suppressed in this country, so it's always like a Vadera sort of system where you end up with agriculture when you've got nothing better to do. So I wanted to change sort of that perception, and so and I started looking at is what we call hydroponics, which is basically essentially when you grow your vegetables and your produce on water. The benefit of that is that you end up using about 80% less water because you precisely control the nutrition that the plant needs, and then whatever water is unused, you actually collect it back, recycle it, and then supply it to the plant again.
awesome.
Obviously, when you talk about that, it requires a lot of technology in the back end,
Sure.
which is basically one, you need to measure the nutrient levels at every single point. What the plant needs, what temperature it needs, what humidity it needs, and then all of these sensors need to work together with certain automation sensors, which actually modify the climate based on the outside temperature, the wind speed. There's a lot of factors that come into play, and to get the right environment for the plant to grow and nurture. And
Awesome.
when you achieve the right balance, you get a much faster growth cycle, and obviously a product that you normally wouldn't get in that season.
Understood. Well, let's keep moving, Ahmed, because we're going to run out of time here. Tell me a little bit about the competition.
So in terms of competition, we don't necessarily have direct competition that does end-to-end, but we do have competition from people that import, these salads and some of these products in from Dubai. Then you've got certain vegetable suppliers that compete with us in the market when we go to restaurants. And then you've got the growers. There are certain growers that have adopted this technology since we came into this market. So they're there as well. But what sets us apart is basically we control the growing process. We also control the supply chain, and then we take it to the end consumer. So we're a fully integrated chain. And how that differentiates us is when you look at Pakistan, right, 30% of your fresh produce is wasted due to lack of supply chain. Right. So, our initial goal was to set up our own growing system, fix the supply chain, set up a distribution channel. But now what we're doing is we're actually going back into the farmers and teaching them post-harvest technologies, giving them the supply chain that they need in order to get them better rates and basically bypass the whole, middleman in the market. What that gets us is, higher margins. What it gets them better prices, and less produce goes to waste.
Awesome. Well, good. Well, the last question I have for you is, what do you need from the diaspora? What's an ask? Are you looking for expertise, money?
So yeah, so it's expertise that we'd be looking from the diaspora. It's a little bit more technical oriented, because as we go into deeper into this space, right? One of the I won't say constraint, but one of the things that we could really use help with is packaging technology. When I see the US, even the UK, a lot of the developed part of the Europe, the packaging technology is so far ahead. Something that would normally rot in about 6 days here, they've managed to extend it to 25 days, right?
Wow.
And it's basic techniques, nothing expensive, nothing fancy. And so if somebody is experienced within, you know, the CPG space of agriculture, where they can help us with the packaging aspect or guide us that, you know, if you can use these materials or certain types of plastic materials where you can enhance the shelf life, I think that would be really helpful, because that's something that we're trying to develop internally, but I think we could learn a lot from the diaspora, because the packaging space in Pakistan is really, really far behind when it comes to technology. And I think we could use a lot of help there.
That's fantastic. Ahmed, this has been great. I think you're doing some great stuff, and I'm right there with you in terms of craving a salad every now and then, where I don't have to spend the next 3 days recovering from what I ate. But nonetheless, thank you for being with us today. This is really interesting. For our audience out there, again, we're bringing different forms and flavors. Wanted to show you how technology is being applied, and the thinking behind technology is being applied to our food supply chain. So in any case, thank you very much for joining us. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on social media. If you guys want to integrate or engage with Ahmed, please contact us. We'll be happy to put you in touch with him. And for the rest of you out there, Allah Hafiz. Thank you.